find a trace of his
I've heard all of this before. Thanks, Mr. Narrator. I just did the elevator ending. I drove you crazy. You made me make a speech, and you gave me heart palpitations. By the way, hi, hello, and welcome back to the Stanley Parable. I, much like Stanley, am imaginary. Thank you for tuning in. I am now going to go do that escape ending that I said I was going to do last time when I got the elevator.
There was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take.
I don't remember the code.
He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation,
is that what happened? Is that what he said this whole time? I feel like that's not true.
What could it mean? Was it a
I don't
sign
remember
of
him
hope
saying
for
something about a
Stanley's
full
future?
hour. That's different, right?
Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
You made me give a speech last time. I'm going this way. You clearly don't want me to be this way.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Oh, are you acknowledging the fact that I can hear you now? This is actually really fucking intimidating. Oh, I know I'm a fictional character, but I don't like this look, okay? The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Oh, I was actually expecting to die there. Oh, I was...
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story. Trapped forever in his narrow vision.
I think this is the other ending that I saw that one time.
Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
I can't jump. Oh, no! Oh?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh. Hello? Where am I?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
Who are you? You're not the narrator that I'm familiar with.
He was going to accomplish.
What is this?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance,
the door's
death
gone.
becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now?
Oh.
Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Office layout. The blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Nature paintings. You're damn right, that's what those are. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. The two doors. The set of the two open doors was the very first concrete piece of the steerable design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. The office. I wonder if this is the true office of 001. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Ah. The Stanley Parable. Credits. Written and designed by... I'd love to go you know what? No. That's not good viewing experience. The impeccable Kevin Brighting as the narrator. Developed by Crows. And I don't know if I'd be able to pronounce some of these, like Andrea Jorgensen, I imagine is the pronunciation, but I don't know. Or Kids von Kooten. Additional development by Richard Baxter, Mariska Zachariah, Rito. Is that... Oh, I'm not even going to make the joke. Based on the work of the Stanley Parable 2013 team. Were they part of the new team? Oh. Maintenance room. An early version of the maintenance room. I don't think I've been to the maintenance room yet. Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Ultra Deluxe announcements. In December 2018, we announced the Ultra Deluxe version of the Stanley Parable at the Game Awards. These are screenshots of the video we made for the announcement and the game's delay. I was so sad when this game got delayed. From Like Harris. Oh, from Sylvia, final warning. There's a skeleton inside of you. There are more skeletons in this world than humans. Thank you and goodbye. From Marius, a question brought forth by the intense passion of my soul. Am I Stanley? Are you spying on me? I do not. Why? Will the game feature capybaras? No. Wait, hopefully. Dear narrator, how do you stay in shape? Sincerely, Michael the Rock Martin. Narrator emails. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. Well, we had initially planned to use these further promotional materials. We never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. I appreciate the previous Stanley game as a work of art and standalone title. Alright. I didn't expect to do like a full like credits dump in my third episode. What's gonna happen? The apartment timer. I feel like there's gonna be some spoilers. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Okay, as much as I would love to just completely and delve into this, I feel like I'm gonna get a bunch of spoilers. Like, what the fuck is an apartment ending? So I'm gonna see. I'm gonna just quickly look for the way out. Can I sprint? No. I'd love to read more of these, but I really don't want to spoil myself a whole lot.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one
I don't want to
another.
destroy the narrator.
How they both wish to be free.
Shut up. I don't know you.
Can you see? Can you
she's
see
still talking.
how much they need one another?
We're codependent, I get it.
Perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me.
Oh,
you
God,
can
no.
still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit.
Nope.
There's no other way to beat this game.
I'm not doing
As
it.
long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
All right. I don't think that's all
of his co-workers were
quite
gone.
good enough for for that to be a
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
No, I
he
don't
had
even think that
simply
was like
missed a
what,
memo.
4 minutes? Oh, I mean, what was it, like 10 minutes? I don't know. I'm gonna go down the stairs this time. Although I do feel like I'm doing a lot of the same stuff.
When Stanley came
just going
to a set
this
of two
way,
open
it's just
doors,
a lot of
he
the
entered
same.
the door
But
on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
that was weird. All right, I couldn't get through the door without it closing on me.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley
should've tried
walked
it there, too.
upstairs to his boss's office.
No, I'm going downstairs this time. Trigger the close. No. Trigger the
But
close.
Stanley just couldn't do it.
Oh, I'm in the
He
garage.
considered the possibility of facing his boss.
I'm just gonna go
Admitting he
home.
had left his post during
Yeah,
work
no,
hours.
I'm just gonna go
he
home.
might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Oh!
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Oh, no.
No, Stanley said to himself. This is
Oh, no,
all
the mug's
too
not on the floor
strange.
anymore.
This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
This is all a dream.
This is all a dream. Oh,
What a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer,
an
an explanation.
His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't
crazy at
after
all.
And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Whoa.
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
It's just my conscience.
He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh, shit. I'm still here. Oh, still here. Nothing's gonna be okay ever again.
Stanley began screaming.
Ah, please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, someone tell me I'm real. I must be real. I must be. Oh, I can hear my voice. Who am I? Who am I?
And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh, wow. We're changing things up.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Oh,
but on this particular
my
day,
God.
her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Well, I guess Stanley died in that one. Hot damn. Well, anyways, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that, I was going to call it philosophical, but I don't know. I don't think I would call that philosophical ending. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you have a good night. That was a really butchered version of my outro.